What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord, here for another fantastic, phenomenal product review. So one of the things that I think a lot of new landlords get wrong is leaving too many things like the old landlords left them and really just not spending, quite frankly, very minimal money in upping the game of the unit. I get it. Plenty of people are okay with dated. A lot of people believe, well, you really weren't going to get any more rent if you made it really nice versus if you didn't. I can promise you that's absolutely 100% not true. Why do I know this? Because I have a number of buildings that have exact units, some that are updated and some that aren't. And I do get a lot more for the ones that are completely not new and gone through. I just do. I have one building specifically that we actually just did. We have a bunch of exactly the same units, as exactly the same floor plan. And for one unit that was completely updated, if it's a one-bedroom unit, we actually got $1,425. Do you know how much money we get for the one that's not updated? $1,100. It's $325 a month difference. We tried the other one at $1,200. We tried it at, actually, I think we tried it at $1,250. We didn't see any movement whatsoever. So finally we had to keep on decreasing the price. Now it's more than what rent was last year. So I'm not going to lie to you and say rents are down, because they're not. But here's the thing, the difference between a done unit and a not done unit. And again, the difference was about $5,000 worth of work that we put into the done unit. It's going to pay for itself in a little more than a year, but I am on that trajectory of that much more rent forever. And increases will be based on the higher number as opposed to a much lower number. So here's one of the secrets to getting those types of returns. Something crazy, something revolutionary. Just kidding. It's really neither of those things. Outlets. It's something as simple as outlets. You walk in, you see the painted over outlets. You see the old fashioned, old style, circular looking ones that have the indents around the eyes. They're not kid safe. Why? Why? And this is something that's a very inexpensive update and upgrade. So I'm going to take you through the different types of outlets that they have. I'm going to show you why we pick the ones that we do pick. And then, just as always, I'll put a link in the description of the video that you guys can click on, and you guys can see exactly what I pay for those units. And you guys can partake because I've already done the shopping. This is what we buy, and we know that it works, number one, and most importantly, and number two, that we drastically save the cost, upwards of 80% off what you would pay if you walked into a Home Depot or a Lowe's to try and buy these products. So the first thing we're going to cover is the simple one. This is what's called a normal single gang. This is a single gang. This is one. This is a single gang duplex outlet. Duplex 2. Doesn't mean it only goes in duplexes. He's going everything. So this single gang duplex outlet has a little thing, and this is the bottom piece where it's grounded. All outlets now are grounded. And there's this little thing right here where you can see it. It says TR. I'll try and get it up close to you. Maybe we can get this thing in focus. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Oh, there we go. TR. Do you see that TR? That TR stands for Tamper Resistant. There is a little piece of plastic just on the inside of this that make it easy for kids to not be able to jam metal objects into these things. These are good. These are safe. These are helpful. You can make sure that you never have to sweat if you end up having a toddler or a baby in some unit where they're going to try and stick something in there. The good news is, and I have kids, they certainly try. The good news is that this puts you in a position where you don't have to worry about that stuff. So this is a regular duplex outlet, single gang, that is tamper resistant. Do not buy the cheap ones that are not tamper resistant. Technically, they don't meet most new electrical codes. These are what is required. So this is the TR. Then you say, well, Matt, that's great. So I just use those all inside the house, all outside the house. That's really what I'm going to use. Nope, it's not. Here's why. The next one that you're looking for is something called not this one. It's something called a WR. So they make these. This is a WR. This particular one is a GFCI WR. What the WR stands for is weather resistant. That is another step above the tamper resistant. But this isn't just a weather resistant outlet. This is also a GFCI outlet. In most cases, again, check your local codes, but in most cases, if it is an outdoor outlet, they're going to require a WR external outlet. Again, this is safety, guys. The next step up is the GFCI weather resistant. I actually like these GFCI weather resistants more than I like just a straight weather resistant, is because if there's ever an issue, if there ever gets water inside of it and somehow something got in, somebody accidentally hit it with a hose, something like that. These usually come with a cover over them, an external cover. But let's just say kids were playing, thing got opened up, somebody sprayed in. Guess what? This thing is going to trip right here. That way this outlet becomes unusable. Now it's safe again. Then you can actually wipe the thing down. I would even blow it out with some compressed air. You hit that reset button and usually these things come back. Almost always. I've only had once where it was an incident like that and they didn't come back. But this is a weather resistant WR GFCI outlet, because they basically, if there's ever a surge, it pops the outlet so it stops working, as opposed to popping the breaker down on your electrical panel. All right. So next on the list is your standard GFCI outlet. This is a GFCI outlet. These are supposed to go, again, look at your own electrical codes, but typically these go within 8 feet of any water source that you have. This is inside the house. So think next to the sink in the bathroom, think next to the sink in the kitchen. For some reason, if you have an outlet near a shower, next to the shower outlet. The reason why these, again, are installed in those areas is quite critical. It's because if water hits them, it stops bringing power. It actually pops inside here. It basically, instead of being the circuit breaker down on the panel, where there's a much longer distance to travel for the electricity, it actually shuts off right here at the switch. So again, you can blow it out with compressed air, try and let it dry, wipe it down, blow it out with compressed air. I'd give it some time to dry. There's no exact science on how long you would need to do that. Then you can hit the reset button and then you'll see this green light. When it's got power to it, you'll see it go from a red light to a green light, or from a green light to a red light. But that's your indicator, your visual indicator that this outlet is live. Again, with the TR, you can't see it, but I'll get it close to you, let it focus. See that TR up there at the top, in between the switch on the bottom? Again, that is a TR, that is a tamper resistant GFCI outlet. These in most states are code. This is what you're looking for, not just a regular GFCI outlet. Here's the other cool thing. I buy these for about $10 a piece, 10 or 11 bucks a piece. Sometimes there's a special and they're 8 or 9. You walk into a Home Depot or a Lowe's and they are $30 to $50 depending. 30 to 50. What's the difference? None. These are still UL tested. These are still, this is the listing that you're looking for, the UL listing. That means it's been built to that spec. This is actually, the GFCI stands for ground fault circuit interrupter. It says it right here. Now, can't see that in the type, but quite frankly, don't really need to. So again, self-testing, TR, tamper resistant, GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter outlet. Now, I know that I just gave you enough information to make you cool at your next landlord meetup. Again, use the information as you see fit, but we're not done yet. Now we get into cool outlets. These are the ones that are functional. These are the ones that are safe. These are the ones that are important. But now we're going to go to the last ones. And the last ones are these. Nope, that's not it. The last one is this. This is again, TR, everybody, tamper resistant. This is a normal duplex outlet, top and bottom, grounded outlet because of the ground plug right there. But this one has a little sneaky door. How about them apples? Oh, that's pretty cool. That, I tell you, is that the best? 2 USB connectors. Guys, this is where we up our game. A normal outlet, the ones that you walk into Home Depot and buy, they're $2, $2.50. Okay, that's fine. I'll show you the link. We buy them for less than $1 a piece. And if you look in a typical apartment, you're probably going to have anywhere from 20 to 30 outlets. So again, this is not a big cost to upgrade all of these things. But here's the coolness factor with this. If it's outside of the 8 feet from the water, whatever your local code is for GFCIs needing to be next to the water, next to the sink, I put these on the islands of kitchens, and I also put these as the next other outlets in the kitchen. I don't put any plain outlets in the kitchen. Why do I put these? Because when people are in the kitchen, it's towards the end of the day and they didn't have their phone charging all day long. They're able to plug in, have their phone with them while they're cooking, while they're cleaning, while they're eating dinner. Phone's right there. It's charging. They don't have to go grab the charger out of their bedroom. I can't, remember the last time that I had to go to my bedroom to get my phone charger. Don't need to. Got these. I've got these installed even in my house. So I can tell you these are absolutely fantastic. Tamper resistant, duplex with USB chargers, 2 of them. Now they have the ones that are the fast chargers out there. Those are fine. They're a lot more expensive though. Those can be $20 and $30 and $40 outlets. These, they charge at regular speed, but you can get these in bulk for less than $10 an outlet. It's a third the cost, and it still gives you USB charging. So tamper resistant, duplex outlet, you still get USB charging. And now your kitchen has the GFCIs it needs to have by code. It now has these, which I like to call the convenience factor or the cool factor. This is, again, just a little change. It costs no more money other than the difference in the cost of the outlet, which is about $7. It costs no more money from a labor perspective for the electrician to put this in versus a normal duplex outlet. No difference in cost. So the only thing you're paying for is the $7 or $8 difference in the actual outlet times I put them in the kitchen, and I also put them wherever the wall makes sense for somebody to have their bed. I make sure that there's an outlet close enough there that for some reason, if they forget their charger at a friend's house, they left it in their overnight bag, whatever, they still have the ability to charge in their bedroom. That way they can plug right in here, charge it natively, or heaven forbid, they have more than one device that charges off a USB. Again, worth its weight in gold. So typically, I'm looking at least one of these per bedroom, and I'm looking at least a couple of these, typically 1 to 2 of these in a kitchen, and also in a living room based on where the couch typically would go. That way, again, they don't have to go get their charger out of the room. So you might be talking about maybe 5 of these in a typical apartment, 4 to 5 of these in a typical apartment, 2 to 3 bed apartment. And that's going to cost you a whopping $30 difference. It's really no money. I mean, $30 difference to have this kind of a cool factor in your unit. This gives you something to show when you're showing the unit. You show them a combination package, right? We really upped our game. You've got electronic door locks. You've got USB chargers in the kitchen, in the bathrooms, and 1 or 2 in the living room. You've got all tamper resistant plugs. You have the light setup that we use, which gives you the 5,000 kelvins, which lights up the entire room like it's daylight outside. No one ever complains about the darkness. You guys have upped your game, and I can tell you from experience, you're looking at less than $1,000 to do these upgrades through the entire apartment. Some people say, well, but my rent's only $800 or $900 a month. I get it, but you can charge a little bit more. This project will pay for itself back because people will remember the tech. They'll remember the technology. They'll remember that they have that power there that they don't normally have. So I'm telling you, I don't put these in just $2,000 and $3,000 units. When I go into a unit, even our cheapest of units that might be $800, guess what? We still use these because it's a differentiator for the tenants. Okay. Lastly is kind of the piece that ties it all together. You say, Matt, what's that? This is just your normal single pole switch. All it is, nothing special, nothing crazy. But here's where the difference comes in from a synergy perspective. See how this is shaped? See how this is shaped? These take exactly the same cover. They take exactly the same cover. That means that you can buy those covers in bulk because it's going to do every one of your light switches. It's going to do every one of your outlets. This is what I love about these paddle switches. They're usually called Decora. But this is what I love about these switches is that these switches and these outlets take exactly the same cover. It's not like the old toggle switches or the ones that actually take the circular cutouts. That's different outlet covers. It's different light plate covers. Then there's almost always, it's inevitable that there's going to be another type of plug that you're also going to need to buy the cover for. Then you're buying 3 types of covers for your unit. In this case, you're buying 1 cover. Guys, this is going to take you from good to great and great to elite. These are the types of things that I do to up the value of my properties, to up the value of my units. And it is perception. Perception is the tenant's reality. When they walk in and see all brand new switches, nothing painted over. When they look in and they see all the plates are new and not broken and shiny white, so it gives a great contrast to the wall color. These are the small differences that absolutely have people, A, rent the unit for a little bit more than another, and B, stick around for quite some time, because what are they going to move over to? It's not going to be something that much better. This is, again, just a regular old duplex unit. But again, you see square box. The cover goes over this just like it does the light switch. The interesting thing is that when you see that you might have what's called a dual gang box, which is a box that holds 2 of these, there are some cases where it might hold a 3 gang or a 4 gang. A gang is 1. And so 2 gang is 2, 3 gang is 3, 4 gang is 4. But there are outlet boxes that sometimes have that many outlets in them. Usually it doesn't go much past 2 in an outlet box, but light switches can be 4. Again, they make the same cover that allows you to buy 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it's square. It will cover it if it's outlets, and it will cover it if it's light switches. So hopefully today was helpful to you guys. I personally think that this is one of the most important upgrades that you can make in a unit, because I know factually, when you give it a nice fresh paint and then you change out all the outlets and the lights and the switches, it's a complete game changer. The place looks new and it doesn't look tired. So I would encourage you, this is an investment worth making. I think that you absolutely will see the return like I have in my units. So if you have any questions, please put them down below. I will make sure that I will put the links to all of these products actually right in the description of the video. That way you guys can literally click there. You'll go right to Amazon. I usually buy a lot of that stuff on Amazon. The only time I don't buy from Amazon is when I'm buying massive bulk. And so when I'm buying absolutely massive bulk, I'll usually do like an overseas order that I know is going to take 3 to 6 months to get here. But again, I wouldn't encourage you to do that because the cost is so great. And unless you have 100+ units, you're not going to see the real benefit of that. So for me, I buy these. You can buy them by the box. All of these come usually in a box of 10. And so it's actually a very economical way to drastically improve the perceived value of your property. So as I always say, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing if you want great tips like this on how to be an amazing landlord and how to really update and upgrade and get the absolute most out of your units you possibly can. Thanks so much for watching. Look forward to our next video. We will have another one coming up this week. We will actually be talking about the fun topic of insulation. For those of you who might be struggling with some coldness or might need to make an upgrade either in the walls or in the attic to drastically reduce those are what going to be crazy heat bills this winter. Thanks so much. Look forward to talking with you soon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.